all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, how we doing today? How are we doing today, my Crimsonites? Okay, let me kick it off just like you did. Thank you, Ellis, for kicking off the contributions today. Said this my dues for part 2. I appreciate you. And thank you once again. Said part 1 was straight facts. Thank you for all that you do. And I appreciate you once again. Oh, thank you so much. So talented, Adams. Thank you so much. I don't believe that I've seen your name before. Thank you so much. Says Shalom, Kendra. Your work is very much appreciated. I appreciate you as well. Thank you. What's trending now? So chameleons change color. So do you fear that content like yours and others will be used by chameleons to teach them how to be better chameleons? I'm going to get back to that question. It's an important one. Thank you, Ruminant, for your contribution. Let me get back to this question. Let me get back to this because this is actually really important. Yesterday, I said something. I said that hyenas are born hyenas and lionesses are born lionesses. And chameleons are the ones that attempt to straddle the fence. But they have to straddle the fence because they're hyenas that are trying to pass their way through the pride of lions to live the life of a lion while still remaining and maintaining their hyena status. The reason why, and I have not delved into it as much lately as I used to do, mainly because I've gotten comfortable with the fact that my audience is familiar with my talk about 10 life values and bioculturons and things of that nature, the lost value system and so forth. And I'm comfortable with it because truth be told, my growth of subscribers is not so fast that I'm concerned that newcomers don't know what I'm talking about. Now, why am I saying that? Because a hyena cannot be a lioness. They can't do it. I'm not really worried about it, about a chameleon trying to change colors, because that's what they're going to do. They're always going to try to listen in, take notes, take tips, to try to scam better, to try to appear more authentic. The problem with it is that she can't switch. She can't really switch her values. That's a hard one. To switch her very set of values that she lived by and switching what is in her heart. That is very highly unlikely. Because femininity is more than etiquette. Femininity is more than the clothes that you wear. Being presentable, being pretty. Just like the woman we talked about yesterday. She presented as a lioness, right? She didn't overdo it with the makeup. She didn't have them long, stupid nails. She didn't have a stupid wig on or a bonnet or any of the telltale obvious signs of a woman that doesn't carry herself with much quality, which is why I addressed her specifically. Because if you go to the comments of that original video, that the Kendra G's video, a lot of people were actually fooled by her presentation. There are only a few that was like, am I the only one to see through this mess and this foolishness? Always what proceeds out of the mouth of a person is what is actually in their hearts. Always what proceeds out of the mouth of people is what is in their heart. There is no person alive that is able to circumvent that truth. And the reason for that is that you are who you are. You are who you are. And you can try to fake like you not. You can try to act like you not. You can try to be someone else. You can try to be something else. You can try to portray some other face. This is why people say if you listen to people talk long enough, they'll tell you who they are, because there's not a single soul that cannot tell you who they are. The problem why people get caught up with other people is they're not listening, or they're listening with the wrong set of ears. So, to shorten it up a little bit, I'm not worried about a chameleon changing their colors better based on what they hear from my content or whatever, particularly my content. Particularly my content. And the reason why I'm saying particularly my content is because I'm not just talking about, the visual of it all. We do talk about it. We talk about the twerking, and we talk about the clothes, and we talk about the hair and the nails, and we talk about the outward behaviors. We definitely talk about those things. But I also dig deep underneath what's the cause of the behavior, because the behavior that we see is a symptom of an illness. And here on the Crimson Cure channel, we talk about the illness as well, not just the symptoms of the sickness, but the sickness itself. This is why you only see so many women in here, and why I so casually refer to them, especially the women who are consistent coming to the channel. I refer to them as lionesses. And the reason why I can refer to them as lionesses without knowing them personally is because a hyena can't take this consistently. She gonna tell on herself. If she type in that chat room, she gonna tell. If she type underneath the comment section, she gonna tell it. Because we're seeing it with other sets of eyes. We see it not only from the set of eyes that see foolishness, but we also see it from the set of eyes where the spiritual value is subverted. And this is where the foolishness is actually coming from. So I'm not worried about it. Listen when I say. Listen when I say. Listen when I say. A lot of them can't handle it. Hyenas get convicted easily. The males too. The male hyenas aren't any better than the female hyenas. They are not. In many cases, they worse in their own way. Because male hyenas invade male spaces, just like female hyenas invade male spaces. And the male hyenas that invade male spaces are more difficult to discern. But all you got to do is let them talk too. Like, And brother, what make you say that? So, let's talk about chameleon women trapping men. As we know, chameleons do what? Change colors. So that means chameleons can come in any color. See, the reason why chameleon is such an appropriate term for what this is because a chameleon can adapt itself to almost any color wave, even patterns. They can even mimic complex color patterns. But what color is a chameleon? For all the colors that a chameleon can be, what's his true color? What color are chameleons? Put it in the chat for me. They green. They can become blue and purple and red and white and patterned and any color that they find themselves predominantly next to. They can mimic almost any pattern, but they are green. And we know they're green. And a chameleon gonna always be green. I don't care what pattern they take on, they are green. They're green from birth. They're green when they are not trying to adapt to any color. They are naturally a greenish color. That is their natural color. That's their base. A chameleon in this sense is always a hyena. They born hyenas. They can put on lioness fur. They can sound like a lioness. They can run kind of through the plain a little bit like a lioness. But when no one's looking, they're hyenas. All you gotta do is keep watching. They're gonna sit like a hyena. That little stupid hyena sound gonna come out one of them times. They're gonna get the giggling too much and it's gonna sound like a hyena. See, they're not gonna be able to keep it up. And Jeannie Mai couldn't keep it up. Now, I'm gonna say something. I had hope for Jeannie. I did. I've come here to say that before. I had hope for Jeannie. Because Jeannie a chameleon, she a different color. You understand? But she's still a chameleon, still a hyena. I had hope for Jeannie because Jeannie seemed to be moving like you supposed to move. She spoke highly of her husband. I didn't see her talk crazy about him. Now, because I don't follow Jeannie Mai, I don't follow any celebrity. You know, I was unaware before the whole divorce thing came about when everybody started talking about her comments about dark meat on the side and white meat keeps her lean and mean and blah, blah, blah. See, I didn't know about all that because I don't watch The Real. I don't watch these little talk shows. I don't search for interviews and all that kind of stuff. That stuff has to come across me in a relevant fashion for me to be like, oh, she said that. You understand? But I kind of had hope for Jeannie. I hoped because of something that I heard her say, that she had learned a lesson uh from the behavior of her mother, and how her mother was a hyena, and how she had watched her mother be a hyena with her father, and how she didn't want to continue down that road, because now this is after the divorce and before she married Jeezy. I think were engaged or whatever. And she was like, I don't want to continue that trend because it didn't work for me. Trying to be like my mama, trying to handle men and relationships like I saw my mother handle them, that actually didn't work for me. Getting divorced and having these relationships that's not working out, let me try to do something different, because I want to learn how to be different. I want my next marriage to last. I want it to be healthy. I want it to be happy. And I know that starts with me. Okay. So I said, okay, well, maybe she learned something. I always try to, have the benefit of the doubt that maybe she learned something. You never know. You never know. She could have learned something. Is she old enough? Maybe she did. Don't know. So her and Jeezy got together. This was during the pandemic. So that was a little interesting. It was the couple that nobody saw coming. And I'm not a follower of Jeezy either. I could not really name you any Jeezy songs or sing like a hook from any of his songs. Like, call me what you want, but not I can't be counted as a fan because I don't know his music. So he seemed to have a track record of baby mamas and stuff like that. Oh, okay. So they get together. I'm not paying it too much attention. I'm like, oh, okay, what it is? She had a baby. Whatever. It's whatever. Right? It's whatever. I felt that the comments and the vitriol that she was receiving online from a lot of Black women online, I thought it was just jealousy because Jeannie's not Black. And I'm like, y'all just don't like no women that ain't Black or whatever. Because people were saying that she because of her submissive comments. And I believe I made a video about that she said she wanted to be submissive to her husband, meaning Jeezy. And Black women got into a tizzy. That these the preferences and blah, 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 blah. You know how they do. So I'm like, y'all need to be trying to be submissive to y'all husband. Like, don't worry about what she doing over there with Jeezy. Why you worried about it? If she says she want to be submissive to her husband, what does that have to do with you and you being mad? So again, try to have hope for Jeannie. But now I can't have no hope for Jeannie. Can't have no hope because them back feet are out. They out in full force. Well, I had to take that with a grain of salt because any Black women don't like it when no woman say she gonna be submissive to her husband. Let's just keep it a buck. Black women don't like that. Even if the woman saying it, almost especially if the woman saying it is Black. And they may not know her from nowhere. But her saying you should be submissive to your husband, or she want to be submissive to her husband, or she is submissive to her husband, gonna get her called names. She gonna be called to pick me, and she gonna be called stupid and all this other stuff. So we gotta keep it a bean. I get what you're saying, but we gotta keep it a bean. Black women don't like that sentiment at all. Coming from nobody. So I'm gonna show y'all a clip. The clip that people was talking about a month ago. And a couple of months ago, Jeezy filed for divorce, and that hit the airwaves. And people were surprised by that. Jeannie didn't say much about the divorce. She didn't really comment too much. It took Jeezy a minute to make any comment at all. And when he did, it was still kind of vague when he did that interview with Nia Long recently, like a couple weeks ago. And I didn't say much about that divorce because I wanted to see how Jeannie was going to respond legally to that divorce. Not what she say in interviews and blah, 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 blah. But how she moving in this divorce. Because a hyena gonna move how a hyena gonna move under duress. See, all you got to do is put a chameleon under stress. Put her under duress. And you will see them back feet come crawling out. See, lionesses move like a lioness, whether she calm or she under pressure. She gonna move like a lioness move. Right? So I wanted to watch, how is Jeannie going to handle the divorce proceedings? That'll tell me what I need to know, because there's a child involved. And usually that ends up in some type of stupid custody battle that don't need to be had, or some parental alienation or whatever. And then we're going to see what kind of, is there going to be any slander? We're going to watch her. That's what I was doing. That's why I didn't say much about their divorce. Everybody wants to go, well, Crimson, what you going to see? I have to reserve my thoughts about that until things unfold a little bit more. Now they have unfolded a little bit more. Now I know what I need to know. Now we can talk about it. Because I had a theory that it was Jeannie Mai, her mother, and that whole familial dynamic that ended the marriage ultimately. And that may still be so, because he didn't come out and say Jeannie cheated. See, that was some rumors, but Jeezy didn't say that. Jeezy didn't say I'm divorcing her because she cheated. Right? Jeezy didn't say that. And he said he didn't cheat. He said he didn't cheat. Now all of a sudden, you got these accusations coming from Jeannie's side about Jeezy and how he might have cheated. And she's using this language. She's not going on an interview tour crying about how he cheated on her. And I find it to be interesting that she's saying it, because when Jeezy first filed the divorce, her initial response was to fight for her marriage. That's what she said. Do anybody remember that? When we all first found out about it, which she claimed that's when she found out, her first initial response was she wanted to fight for her marriage. She needed time away from the spotlight a bit so that she could fight for her marriage. Now, why would you fight for a marriage with a man that you now claim cheated on you? Let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we? Back down memory lane. We're going to take a little trizip down memory lane. Now, this is, let's see, let me get the date right. This is almost a year ago. 10 months ago, she did an interview with this channel, Lovers and Friends podcast, okay? And this is where everybody was getting this other clip from, that where she was telling you, just like the lady yesterday, tell you what their problem is. Let's take a listen.
For example, I have a really hot temper, but I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you, where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but no.
Now I'm going to stop her right there, because this was just 10 months ago. And she talking about she, quote unquote, had an anger problem that she didn't know until Jeezy pointed it out, which I call cap. You know you got a smart mouth. You know you got a smart mouth. You know that you get flipped at your lip. And you talk crazy, talk outside your neck, talk smart. You was used to talking to that white man like that because you thought you was better than him. You thought you was better than that white man. So you disrespected that man and you talk crazy to that man, wore that man down for about 10, 11 years. You was talking crazy. That man got tired of you with all that foolishness that you were. So you thought that you would bring that foolishness over to Jeezy. Right. Cussing folk out in Vietnamese and all kind of stuff. Okay. Calling them little names. He don't know what the name means and all of that. And you thought that because you little and Asian and cute or whatever, that you gonna talk crazy to any man you come across. Any man that kind of wants you, you gonna talk slick. And see, dude, he let you get away with talking slick. And Jeezy said, ma'am. Because who you talking to? I just want to know who you talking to like that. Because we can't even talk about the issues before we start talking about what's with your mouth and why your mouth so smart. So this is a cap. What she talking about? She didn't notice, but I'm gonna let her finish.
Nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss, you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, that's not fun.
These is not old habits, boo-boo. Boo-boo kitty. Boo-boo kitty. They not old. That was the whole problem. She talking about this like her and Jeezy been together 15 years. Girl, bye. This was just 10 months ago. Y'all had only been together since the pandemic. Girl.
Lying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. Mm-hmm. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it. So we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right. I could have. But this was something greater that I wanted. And also a great challenge to myself to say, and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right.
It didn't do well. And she gonna sit there and say, right. Baby. Ma'am. You sitting there in your 40s, ma'am, with no man. You got a man right now, but you before Jeezy, you didn't know what you was gonna do for a man. Cause that white man had said no. He was done with it, baby. And once you got divorced, they contacted that white man, asked him what he thought. He said, please. Okay, knew that was coming. Cause I know her. I know her. You understand? I done got tired of her. I done found me a new woman. Now I don't want to talk about her. I got me another woman. I can smile with her and stuff like that. He went on back to the white women. She made that white man go back to Mrs. Cartwright. Because you know a white man will raise an Asian up to Mrs. Cartwright. He will. But she made that white man go back to Miss Cartwright. He said, no, I'm going to go ahead going back to Mrs. Cartwright. I shouldn't have never left Mrs. Cartwright.
I could have, but this was something greater that I wanted. And also a great challenge to myself to say, what if now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life? And that took work. So for me, I think I don't want somebody who doesn't change. I want you to change and grow. If it means growing into an even better version of what I fell in love with.
Mm-hmm. There's also nothing wrong though, too, because if you got a new job, you have to adapt to the job.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with asking your partner to change for you.
Yes.
Because you're in a relationship with me.
Especially if it's something we both mutually agree is not conducive to the relationship. Like if we know that you're jealous and your jealousy, yes, it has to do with your insecurity. I could also help with need for achievement in other great things that I find in my life, whether it's my career, which is why I think we love being career women. That always makes us want to achieve more. Being a mom, I guess, is another way. But I'm going to find that little spark in things that make me feel like I want to achieve more. So I like myself better through that activity or that new cause, that new reason.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, he's that in my life, but I don't want it to be just dependent on him.
Yes.
You know?
It's inspired by him.
Yes. It's inspired by him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I never wanted to have a baby.
Yep.
And not only did I not want to have a baby, I've never been a baby person.
Yeah.
So all the dialogues about motherhood and momminess and announcements
Never
and
hit you.
I didn't give
I
a fuck.
And it was actually annoying when people would.
I just want you to hear that little part too. Okay. Well, why is my hijab doing something stupid? 1 second. Hopefully I don't look like a fool. Okay, here we go. I'll try not to look like a fool. Anyway, what I want to do is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back and read the article. And then we're just going to discuss the mass drop, which is what made me do this show today. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.
So go to crimsoncure.com, pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, which is on sale now. Let me go to these super chats. Thank you, Damien, for your contribution. Thank you, June Wade, for yours as well. Thank you, Queen. Said this is my donation for the collection playing Star Trek. Shapeshifters can perfectly mimic anyone and anything temporarily. Every 48 hours, they have to revert back to their normal state. Thank you, Mr. Missing. Jeannie Mai stars in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Backfeet. I'm done with you. And thank you, Miss Lou Casely, for your super sticker, sweetheart. I appreciate you. All right. And I don't know how many likes I need, but I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, Okay, so go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you, Mad P. So that's how it be when you have no love or any sense of honor in your heart. Keep it cooking. Will do. Let me share the article now. Okay. Matter of fact, we just gonna make it big. And I want y'all to read along with me. This was published on the 1st of December. Jeannie Mai accuses Jeezy of cheating as rapper claims Mai is interfering with his parental rights in heated divorce battle. Now, you know what? Let me just read it. It doesn't seem like Jeezy and Jeannie Mai will come to an amicable resolution in their divorce case, as the two entertainers have thrown barbs at each other regarding allegations of cheating and parental interference. Jeezy shocked the couple's fans in mid-September when he filed for divorce from Mai after just 2 years of marriage. He also asked for joint custody of their 1-year-old daughter, Monaco. Since that bombshell dropped, the two have sparingly talked about the divorce or the custody battle. In the public eye, the estranged couple has chosen not to call each other out by name, out of respect for the other. That does not seem to be the case in their legal battles, as the kid gloves are seemingly off. Mai appears to be fighting Jeezy's request for joint custody of their daughter, as she hired well-known Georgia attorney Randall Kessler, who has worked on cases like Nene Leakes' 2011 divorce and Mike Epps' paternity case. Radar Online reports that Jeezy has filed a new motion so that the court will set a structured visitation schedule. The Don't Cheat rapper claimed that he and Mai had an informal schedule, but it has not been working out. Jeezy's lawyer said that Mai isn't being malicious, but she has acted as a gatekeeper regarding Jeezy's ability to be a father to Monaco. The motion said the interference is, quote, causing confusion and tension between the parties, and he is demanding the court step in. One day after Jeezy accused Mai of being a gatekeeper, she insinuated he was a cheater. This isn't the first time that infidelity rumors have come up in the pair's divorce, as Mai previously has been accused of cheating with fellow TV host Mario Lopez. In legal documents obtained by TMZ, Mai's lawyer wrote that the television personality, quote, reserves the right to amend this counterclaim to add other grounds for divorce, but which Mai does not wish to specify herein at this time, in the hope that this matter can be resolved without having to disclose such conduct publicly. The lawyer also said that the court should enforce a part in their prenup regarding infidelity, which explains that if either side cheated sexually or emotionally, it shall result in a significant financial penalty upon the adulterous party. Fans were split over both the gatekeeping claims and the cheating claims. In regards to the custody battle, one fan who sided with Mai said, "I'm tired of him with the narrative. She's clearly working and he knows she always travels with their daughter. He just wants to control her every move." Another one who sided with Jeezy said, "This is sick. Regardless of how I feel about the man, he deserves to be in the child's life, period. Black men continue to get treated like this." Some cast doubt, saying they did not believe Jeezy would sign a prenup with a cheating clause and then still cheat and ask for a divorce. One Mai supporter added, "I'm assuming she's got proof, because she seemed to be the problem. And I know women usually don't take the blame for nothing. While Jeezy has said on multiple occasions, real men don't cheat, Mai has not given a response about the custody battle. However, she uploaded a new episode to her Hello Honey YouTube channel. Mai gave fans a glimpse into her life as she filmed her show Raid the Cage in Mexico City. She had baby Monica with her and said it was her third week of filming the game show. She also may have referred to her relationship situation as she talked about her driver, Diego. Mai said that besides being her driver, he was also a secret keeper because they talk a lot of S. Diego laughed at the statement as he told the camera it was true. So, the back feet are out. I'm going to tell you how she was able to hide. Her first layer of hiding is her culture and her ethnic background. It is not culturally appropriate overall for East Asians and Southeast Asians to be hyenas in their culture. That's not really a culture that truly supports hyena behavior, because hyena behavior, the root of hyena behavior is a feminist mindset. It's feminism. That's where hyenas come from. Okay? It's a feminist mindset. However, what failed to be understood is that while Jeannie Mai is Vietnamese by ethnicity, she is American by culture. Okay? Jeannie is American. Jeannie was raised American with Vietnamese background. Jeannie is unsuccessful at relationships into her 40s now. What is this, like her second or third failed marriage? You are the common denominator, Miss Mai. So we're not going to say that it's all the men, that somehow all of these guys are the problem, when you're the common denominator of all of these relationships that have failed. So we're not going to say it's all these other people. Problems. I'm going to take you through all the problems that was highlighted in this article that let me know she was a full-blooded backfoot. First of all, if lionesses have to endure a divorce, lionesses leave quietly. Whatever we have to take or whatever is due to us rightfully, we want that. Whatever is not due to us rightfully, we don't need that. Even if we may have wanted it at some point, it's like, we're not going to do it. Lionesses don't feel the need to make a whole bunch of chaos and confusion in something that is already hurtful, in something that is already painful, in something that is already problematic to us. Especially when there are children involved, which means that for a long time now, because Monica's only like one, I'm going to have to deal with this man for at least the next 10, 12 years until the kid is old enough to kind of do what they want and kind of be with their dad without me being bothered with it. You get what I'm saying? Like me and the father don't gotta coordinate in order for the co-parenting to happen. So you're not even leaving quietly. Okay? Y'all are clowning in this chat room. And instead of leaving quietly, you want to stir up a lot of bim and bop with your back feet. Nobody asked you for back feet, bim and bop. Nobody asked you for that. You can go quietly. So she's not doing that. In public, and I want to juxtapose something. In public, she's keeping her face on. She's trying to be the bigger person. Okay? She's trying to be this classy. I'm moving on. You know, I'm not going to speak bad about my child's father, but on the back end, and this is probably indicative of how that relationship went, and this is how Jeezy got in that relationship in the first place with her. Because on the surface, she's not doing anything. What is she doing? I still think that. I don't believe that their divorce has anything to do with infidelity on either side. I don't believe that. She's just saying something now so that there can be an issue with the custody. I don't believe Jeezy did nothing in terms of cheating. And I honestly don't believe Jeannie did that. I don't believe that they cheated on each other. They didn't do that. It was Jeannie's mama, her allowing her mother to interfere, Jeannie being a boss and being a covert hyena. Because that's all a chameleon is a covert hyena, a subtle hyena. You know, she's not the loudest one swooping and whooping through the plane. She not. She in the back. You know, she might let out one or two whoops, but she ain't. You see what I'm saying? She ain't the loudest one whooping in the background. She do one or two little whoops. You know, you might almost like, did that come from her? That kind of stuff. Covert hyena. That's how Jeezy got caught up. Because he didn't anticipate the hyena to be that color. Let's just keep it real. He thought he would have other issues with her, not back-footed issues. But she a back-foot. She a whole hyena. She a whole feminist. She's a chameleon. And now that the divorce proceedings are moving along, Jeezy didn't come back. They didn't reconcile. He doesn't seem interested at all for getting back with her or none of that stuff. He thought he maybe has some different problems from her. Lo and behold, Hyenas is the same all around. They're going to do the same stuff. They may do it in a different language, but they're going to do the same stuff. And like I said, now that the divorce proceedings are moving along, we are seeing the mask completely drop now. Completely the mask drop now. Now she's doing stuff like this. She's fighting the joint custody request. How you as a mother, when all that you have done in the public eye is praise this man for being an awesome husband and an awesome father and an awesome this and an awesome that, and he is your favorite person, he's just this awesome person, blah, 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 blah. So how is it that we get into the divorce proceedings? Now all of a sudden, we are contesting and fighting joint custody? No lioness in the history of lionesses fight joint custody for no reason. Just, we don't want him to have joint custody. How that work? I have a baby with you. As long as you deal with me in a relationship, I never obstruct you from your child. But the moment that we are not in a relationship, I'll obstruct. And she's doing it in a still, she a slick, covert, subtle back foot. Because even in the article, they saying she's not being malicious about it. So what is she not doing? She ain't cussing him out every time he come around. She's not making a spectacle every time. But you know what she's doing? Making it inconvenient. That's what she's doing. She's making perfect little excuses. These are the perfect little circumstances as to why he can't see his child at the specified time. Now the courts got to come in because they had working it out, but just between them, that wasn't a part of the divorce proceedings and have to file nothing about that. Me and her are adults. Now, in that clip that I showed y'all that took place 10 months ago, did she or did she not talk about how much she respected Jeezy? So how do you not respect him as the father of your children, even if you don't want him or y'all not together as a couple? If he was such a respectable dude and you respected him so highly, even through, see, a lioness is gracious through pressure. We gracious through pressure. It may hurt, but what we try to do is see logic. And not only do we try to see logic, we try not to operate from a spiteful place just because we, are emotional about the situation. It's one thing to be emotional about something. It's another thing to operate out of spiteful energy. So there's no way that a lioness, for no real reason, is going to sit somewhere and be like, you know what? I don't want him to have joint custody. He's not trying to fight her for full custody or take the baby away from her. He's not trying to say he don't want Jeannie Mai involved with the child. This is joint custody. That should be a given in any circumstance where there is no, extreme violence and all that, extreme circumstances, but just regular. It don't matter what me and you going through. Whatever me and you going through as a man and a woman, that baby ain't going through that. Jeezy is daddy, no matter who he is or who he's not to Jeannie. To Monaco, Jeezy is daddy. And only a hyena don't see it that way. Only a hyena start playing games with the child and the custody and the alienation. Like I said, he said, he used the right word, she gatekeeping it. So she's just making little inconveniences, oh, I wasn't, I'm out, I'm filming the game show, oh, we didn't catch the flight, we not gonna be back in until 2 days from now. But you promised that you was gonna, I was gonna pick y'all up from the airport because I wanted to see Monica. I was gonna pick her up and blah blah blah. Oh, well, Jeezy, we not able to do it. And I don't know why you just can't understand. So now you just being trifling, aren't you? See, this is all back-footed. Like I said, no lioness. Even going through a time of duress where her emotions may be in an uproar. We don't start using the kids as the pawns. We don't start using the children as a way to get back and play get back with your ex and all of this other type of stuff. I'm going to use the kids to hurt them. I'm going to take them from them. I'm going to slowly alienate him from the children, make it more difficult than it already is going to be because we're no longer living in the same home. So it's already going to be difficult or have some challenges at least for the co-parenting because we are two busy people and we got to coordinate everything. Now, he said they sat down and did that. And now that this divorce is not stopping, see, she was probably playing ball at first in the hopes that, he would calm down and they would talk and they would get back together. So she was playing ball. You understand? She wasn't giving him no problem with that baby. She wasn't giving him no problem coming over there to see Monaco or be with her or whatever he was doing, do what he been doing. But now that she done finally got it through her head that Jeezy ain't coming back. It's done. We're not going to have a marriage. We don't have a marriage. We don't have a relationship anymore. The only tie we got now is Monaco. And she going to make that a living hell. Now every time he want to see Monaco, he got to cross the river Styx and all that kind of stuff. He got to go hunt. And if she's doing these little interviews, now she want to talk. Now that he has made it clear to her in no uncertain terms that this will never be again. We'll never be married and in the home and all that. We'll never do that. Now because she was quiet. You understand that? She was playing ball. She was not talking about this on interviews and all this other type of stuff. She was not sitting on nobody's couches or nothing. Whenever she talked, it was always kind of just tearful and kind of just somber, like, and she was very picky with what she said and how she said. And I know that he must have made it super clear to her, crystal clear to her, that there is nothing that she could do. to repair. For whatever reason, he don't want her no more. And now she want to talk. Now she on Jennifer Hudson's show. Now she want to talk to Sherry Shepherd. And now she want to talk to this one. And now she want to talk to that one. I guess she gonna go on her graduated from her marriage tour. Somehow she gonna make it empowering for her. She already hosting shows half naked. Don't think I ain't see them pictures. She had like a blazer on and the bottom was sheer. Something Jeezy would never have gone for had they been together. And the thing about that is, whether Lioness currently got a man or not, she ain't hoish whether there's a man in the picture or not. Because Lionesses are not whores. So we don't like having whores imagery. We don't like having the image of a whore. We don't like being viewed as a slut. We don't like that. So whether there is a man actively there or is a man not there. Thank you, Mad Pizza. That's how it be when you have no love or any sense. Oh, I think I got that one. Thank you, T. King said, Crouching Feminist Hidden Dragon, My Western Woman. Y'all been clowning. Thank you, H. Baxter, just stopping by, sister. Stirred up the hornet's nest on a podcast about single mothers and us young men with no children not dating them. I think there should be a Friday call in to end this madness. Thank you again, T. King said, before Jeezy wax on, during, after Jeezy wax off. Thank you, Alonda said, Crimson Cure, my black sister's chat is really having a field day over Jeannie Mai getting dumped. They clowning in this chat. Thank you, Stanley, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Now you are back foot where you want it to be. I was just waiting to see what she was gonna do in this divorce, and sure enough, them back feet just as nasty as the next pair. They ain't no cleaner just because they got soy sauce on them. Okay? Just because they got wasabi on them. This why I ain't worried about a chameleon. Because they can't be lionesses. They can't. All you got to do is put them under a little pressure. Sometimes it takes something big. Sometimes it don't even take enough heat to toast a piece of bread. And you get them back feet coming right on up out of there. This one was another one for the men. Most men understand, but some men do not. That hyenas come from everywhere. They are in America. They are in Brazil. They are in Southeast Asian countries. They are in the motherland. They are in other European countries. Do you understand? Hyenas are everywhere. Your vetting process as a man, especially a Black man, and I know that many of y'all are starved of things like femininity, softness, a woman not being super combative, this and that. This is why I'm did these 2 shows. You go where you want. You date who you want. Doesn't matter what culture they come from. But understand, a hyena is always going to be one. You still got to find the lioness. I don't care where you go. You got to find the lioness. You have to find her. Now, she may be a little bit more in abundance in one place than the other. But your vetting process can't lax just because she's a different color. Just because she come from somewhere else. Because the first thing is that female nature is the same everywhere. Female nature is the same everywhere. And then you've got the hyena and the lioness that operate in that female nature differently. I feel y'all on wanting that softness and wanting that. I feel y'all on that. Don't get fooled by it. Don't let no hyena from nowhere fool y'all with that. Oh, hello, you know, sometimes it's just her culture to be nice. She being polite. She don't have a resting bee face. She don't have it. It's not even in her culture to do that. She's not gonna have a resting bee face. So she still got to be subject to this. Because this gonna suss them out. Time, toll, trouble, threat. Too much trouble, too much threat always threatens a man's time and his toll. Because I have seen these women on these different TV shows and this and that. And these women be coming from everywhere. They be raised in a completely different culture than American culture and Western culture. Yeah, sit back. Like, what is she talking about? They be mean. Now, they don't be outwardly masculine, but they don't be feminine either. These are not helpmates. Trying to get y'all game. Women are women. Everywhere. Thank you so much, Too Tall said right on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution, sweetheart. Thank you so much once again. Queen say hyenas are even here in the South Pole, but we call them penguins. Instead of back feet, they ain't got no knees, so they waddle when they walk. Thank you, Anthony. Said agreed, and I'm glad you brought this up, Crimson. A lot of men are blinded by race. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, because they sometimes it's quick to be misconstrued. Oh, you just talking bad and talking down on Black men not dating Black women or dating outside their race. I don't care. I don't even be caring about the bed wenches with the whole Mrs. Cartwright thing, right? And the divestors. I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that. They do that. I just laugh at them because I tell them they're not Mrs. Cartwright. Because they think that they can be Mrs. Cartwright. I don't know why they believe that, but okay. I don't care. I'm off the market anyway. All right. So I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'm just saying chameleons is chameleons. Hyenas are hyenas. And lionesses are lionesses. No matter where you are, the ratio may change, but the dynamic exists. Thank you, Shelton. So I was listening to you cooking while I'm in the kitchen cooking up. We appreciate you, Queen Crimson. Thank you so much, Shelton. I appreciate you as well. All right. So I want to thank everyone for coming through, for chatting with me. I want to thank everyone for their contribution, because I want to make sure, did I get any cash apps? I don't know. Did we get any cash apps? Twin gave me a cash app. Thank you, Twin. I appreciate you, sweetheart. I'm gonna try to remember to read the cash apps if I get any. But anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.